Okay, the music ended. Hi, Jill. Good to see you. Okay, so I'm just going to get on with it here. And if anybody else shows up late, they'll be able to catch up later. So this training is to go over compensation plans, a binary versus a unilevel, and then understanding that, and then what you can do to talk to other people and other MLMs, such as skincare and essential oils. So most of you know that I'm a little bit of a shark when it comes to recruiting. Lynette's husband says I'm a shark with a smile, so I'll take it. It's like one step closer to getting to Shark Tank, which is like my dream someday. I want to be on the Shark Tank show. And I also don't pick fights that I can't win, especially in business. So being a former banker, one of the things that I loved was just analyzing numbers and devising what that system looked like to make all the numbers work, whether it was a credit report or like a loan application. I'm a big numbers fan. I like making money. I like playing with money. I mean, it could be $5, $500, or $5,000. I don't care. I'm a deal junkie. So this is the whole compensation plan thing. That's my wheelhouse. And I love dissecting compensation plans. I love understanding how I get paid and how I make money and how I can capitalize on everything. So we've taught you guys, you need to be able to quote the first 4 ways of getting paid in a compensation plan, right? So before I get further into that, whenever you have a prospect that is in another MLM company, I'm a firm believer in leading with, we lead with business, right, instead of product, but along with that, you're also leading with education, and sometimes that's educating them on their own comp plan. So whenever you're speaking to somebody that's in another MLM, in another direct sales company, you want to know what company they're associated with and take a look at their compensation plan and dissect it a little bit. And in order to kind of get to that point of basically showing them that Viseo is better than them, like you can't just come out and say it, because everybody that's cheesy says, oh, no, we have the best comp plan. Like everybody says that and then they don't even understand how they get paid, right? Because they're just drinking the Kool-Aid. We don't drink Kool-Aid here. Like we actually know our stuff, right? So the first thing that you want to do is, you want to ask somebody, what keeps you at a company? What do you like about your comp plan? And sometimes they'll say, well, I fell in love with the product, and so I started. I'm just now seeing your guys' laughs. Many will say, like, I fell in love with the product, and so I started selling it. And you could respond with something such as, well, that's great. I know that there's a lot of great products in the direct sales channel. How's your business model? What does that look like? What does your compensation plan look like? Is it a binary or is it a unilevel? 80% of the time, like 90% of the time when I ask people that, they don't know the answer. They're like, what's that? And that's like your instant, they're not being taught industry. That's like the first thing. And if they try to send you a video instead, they're like, oh, just watch this video. You're like, why can't you just answer the question? Like, I want to know, is it a binary or is it a unilevel? I had this happen the other day with somebody. He's like, why can't you just watch a 7-minute video? I'm like, well, I can, but, it was a little bit more of a test to see what kind of training you have, because I feel like if you're being taught industry, you would know the difference between a binary and a unilevel. And he's like, oh. Like, I was able to kind of say it without saying it, that I know more than he does, right? But you can't say that. You can't be cocky. This is a safe place for that, right? Don't tell anybody. Anyway, moving on. So you can ask them, how is their business model serving them? What does their compensation plan look like? Is it a binary? Is it a unilevel? And they might say, okay, well, what's a binary? What's a unilevel? And you can also ask them, are you in this business to get free product, or are you really looking to build an empire and replace your income and build big? And part of asking this question is you're identifying how motivated they are, because you want motivated business builders, right? And if they say they're really serious about building a business, you're going to be able to figure that out and identify it. Well, I really just signed up for a free product. Okay, great. Maybe they're going to be better served as a customer in our business as opposed to being this huge business builder. Because what you don't want to have to convince somebody to come to your business, because then, if you drag them in, you're going to be dragging them the whole way. right? So have those qualifying questions ready. So if you ask them, well, do you want to build a massive business and make a lot of money? They'll probably easily answer, well, yeah, I want to build a massive business. Like, yeah, I want to do that, but they don't know what that road looks like, right? So at this point, you ask them, well, how many ways do you get paid right now in your current plan? And from the ones that I've been talking to, it's anywhere from 3 ways, 4 ways, maybe 5. And we get paid 10 right now if you're a founder. So you start positioning yourself and teeing yourself up to break down their compensation plan in front of them. And then you're going to be able to get them to turn a corner and agree with you that Viseo has a much better compensation plan. And why did you get into this company? Was it just because you loved the product and you wanted it for free, or is it because you really wanted to build a business? And if you really want to build a business, do you believe that this compensation plan is the best one that fits your needs and your goals and where you want to go with this business? And like, that's leading with business acumen, you guys. You're not asking them to join your team. You're not asking them to buy your product. You're like, hey, can I show you something? Can I teach you what the difference is between a binary and a unilevel and like compensation, right? Okay. So first part of this is you have to know Viseo's compensation plan. That's like the first step. You have to be able to write down the first 4 ways of getting paid, at least the first 4 ways of getting paid. Now, right now, there's a total of 10. For those of you that are maybe very new to Viseo and you just got added onto this team page, there's 2 ways that are seasonal of how we get paid, and after this month it's going to drop down to 8, which is still very, very competitive compared to most of the other companies out there. So you at least need to learn the first 4 ways of getting paid. And then you need to challenge yourself a little bit more, and you need to learn the other 8 or be able to explain them on a whiteboard or a napkin or a piece of paper. So in order to help you do this, I actually did a compensation video. I put it on YouTube and I posted about it yesterday. I showed you guys a post that I received from a cold market, and she said, hey, I saw your YouTube video and you really resonated with me. And she had actually researched Rick and Overcome Nation, and then she found me and she's like, I just, I wanted to reach out to you. I wanted to reach out to a woman. So there are huge advantages to doing social media videos, you guys. Like, you have people coming to you, and we all want that. We all want just people come to us saying, tell me more about your business, right? Everybody would want that rather than just sending out messages. So get comfortable with the uncomfortable, learn the compensation plan, do a video on it. For right now, you guys can practice on mine. I did stumble like a little bit at the end, but I recovered and I made up for it. So it's very, very casual. I'll probably do a few more that will, resonate with a different demographic, so to speak. So stay tuned for that. But know your compensation plan. And the way that I learned ours is I would watch videos and then I would just start writing it down. And then I would start practicing it, and I'd write it down like over and over and over again until it stuck. Okay, so do that. So Unilevel. In my last brand, I was in a Unilevel. Most compensation plans in network marketing are either a Unilevel or a binary. There's a matrix, and I think there's one more, but the most common ones you're going to see is Unilevel and binary, and sometimes there's a hybrid between the two of them. So some people like Unilevels because it's designed for quick cash injection, so to speak. I don't like them because it's not structured for long-term growth and stability, and that's what I want, and that's what we see in the binary, right? Because you have a left leg and a right leg. I don't know if that's backwards on the camera, and you start to grow down, right? A Unilevel, I'm going to show you real quick on this whiteboard. Move my chair back. Move the camera. Hopefully you guys can see this. A Unilevel can look like this, where you have one person, and then that one person is enrolling people like this, okay? It can also look like this, where you have 1, 2, 3, and then each person does 1, 2, 3, okay? And obviously ours is a binary, right? We have the tree, right leg, left leg. You guys should hopefully know that by now, Okay, so that's the difference as far as the structure and what it looks like. Now, as far as the benefits of like how you get paid and disadvantages and things like that, a unilevel does not pay unlimited levels. So in a binary, when we think about our compensation plan of the right leg and the left leg and all of that volume, it's unlimited. In a unilevel, you cap out at like 5th, 6th, 7th level, depending on the company and their plan. And usually you only get to that 5th, 6th, or 7th level as long as you're advancing in rank. You're not paid on that right away. So you directly cannot increase the volume of your downline except for your primary level. And that's it. We're in hopefully I said that right. Yeah. In a binary, you're constantly increasing your downline's volume because, you know, you put 20 on the left and 20 on the right and you're just kind of stacking them side to side, right? So it's going to affect the total income unless strong leadership comes in and is recruited in the downline, which we want strong leadership all over our business. It's structured a lot differently in a unilevel. There's no check match. And if you've been watching our compensation videos, you know how great check match is because it's unlimited income, right? You can make a couple $1 million off check match alone. Unilevels do not have check match, okay? There's not much possibility of rapid downline development because of you don't grow deep, you grow wide. That's really what it comes down to. You have a tendency to grow wide. The second structure that I showed you, the one where it has 1, 2, 3, it's a little bit, I mean, it kind of looks like a binary, but with a third leg and you're growing deep, but it still has the characteristics of a unilevel plan where you can't get check match and things like that. With binary, you have unlimited depth, you get check match, there's rapid expansion of a downline, and there's spillover. There's no spillover in a unilevel. A spillover is when, I enroll somebody, I enroll person A, and person A enrolls person B, and the points just kind of keep rolling up. When we talk about points rolling up, that's also called spillover. So those are all advantages in a compensation plan. Now, I've talked to a couple of people that are in unilevels, and they're like, binaries are no good. No. They're just drinking their own Kool-Aid, and somebody told them in the unilevel that binaries are bad, and it's really because they don't understand them, right? And they love the flavor of their cherry Kool-Aid. So, nothing against cherry Kool-Aid. They will tell you that, or you may hear this, that you can't benefit from your downline and all the recruits, or you just benefit from one leg, which isn't true. We benefit from both legs, right? They can toggle back and forth, and you can put people in both legs and you're still commissioning off all of them. And again, this is what you're going to hear out there because they're misinformed. So it's really important for you to understand like these precise details in a binary so that when you hear this stuff, you're like, no, I'm sorry, you've been misinformed. Like, here, let me help you understand what this plan actually is. And then you can get into it. I actually read this in an article that binaries are a very complex downline structure, which includes spillover and check matches. So I think about that, and I'm like, okay, it's very complex. There's a right leg, there's a left leg, there's spillover, which means there's points rolling up to me, which means there's money, and there's check match, which unilevel doesn't have. So basically what you're saying is I'm making a lot of money. I'm not sure what's complicated about that, but clearly this person who wrote this article is not a binary fan, or, they're biased. So anyway, I want to educate you on that. Flushing, we talk about how if you're not on LCP, or if you're not making the 80 PV minimum and you're not commissionable, that your points will flush. Some people will say, well, if one leg is comparatively active and stronger than the other, then the other leg's just going to flush. Not true. You don't lose your points, you guys. So just be prepared to encounter this stuff. You want to be able to be like, no, I'm sorry, that's actually not how it works. I know my compensation plan. I know my company. And they're going to look at you and they're going to be like, okay, well, maybe there's somebody that I should listen to because clearly they've done their research and they've been working on this. They know what they're talking about. And you're going to be able to speak with posture and confidence. So now that I've distinguished the difference between binary and unilevel, one thing you can go and do is you can go and look at companies that have unilevel compensation plans and tear them apart like I do. So much fun. I come from a very cutthroat industry in banking. It's either you hunt or you're hunted. So Rick likes to say I'm really aggressive. I just think I'm really efficient. Potato, potato, whatever. So I took 2 compensation plans. And thanks for all the likes, guys. I took 2 compensation plans that one of them I came from. And the other one I looked at because I had, thanks guys, I love seeing those hearts and that laugh. That's awesome. I had somebody that was considering a company in the essential oils arena. Company starts with a D and it ends with an A. I'll let you figure out what that is. And they are a unilevel. So, going back to the first part of this training and you kind of teeing yourself up to break down their compensation plan, you want to establish that you're going to have a conversation about their plan and do a comparison, right? And your approach is going to be, can I basically educate you? Can we go through it together? Let's look at it together. Maybe we'll both learn something, right? That's the approach you want to take. But in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm going to crush this, okay? That's what you tell yourself. That's your mindset. I'm going to blow it out of the water. Okay, so the essential oils company, Unilevel, there's only 6 ways of getting paid. Again, we have 8 to 10. By the way, on Unilevels, you're paid monthly. Binaries, you're paid weekly. So that's another plus. I forgot to mention that in the difference between the binary and the Unilevel. So they're only paid monthly with the exception of one part of their pay plan. It's a fast start bonus. And it ends after 60 days. So once they enroll a partner, they're only making money off that partner for 60 days with that fast start bonus. So then the compensation drops to 5 ways of getting paid. And going forward, no check match. There's no check match in this plan. They actually used to not have compression. And if you've been following our compensation videos and you understand what compression is, it's basically when somebody quits and the next person bumps up. This company used to not have compression, and when I went back and double checked it, they have compression now. So this is another side note for you guys. If you are going to pursue somebody that's in another company and you think you know their compensation plan, just go back and double check, because every single company can go and update their plan. I mean, we've updated ours. We've enhanced ours probably like 4 different times since we launched. So just, do your due diligence and make sure that you have all of your facts, because you want to walk into that conversation, just confident and knowledgeable, right? So when you look at their team commissions only range 2% to 7%. And you get paid 7% once you reach the upper echelon ranks. You could equate it to like a black diamond, so to speak. So when you think about our check match in Viseo, our check match is actually considered unilevel. You get paid on different levels of first generation, second generation, third generation. That's really what unilevel means, is that there's generations, and we get paid up to 7 generations on check match as long as we're advancing in rank. That's how team commissions work in a unilevel. So as you're advancing in rank, you start to get paid team commissions as you're advancing in rank, where we get team commissions no matter what rank we are. Well, once you get qualified, right? Person on the left, person on the right, but it doesn't really matter what rank you get. You start getting that right away. So it's another comparative. They only offer 2% profit sharing, and you have to be a mid-level earner to qualify for it. So we talked to you guys about this a few months ago. Rick has mentioned it, that he's only really seen profit sharing at a high level, and it's very, very common to have profit sharing, but it's usually always mid-level to high level, and that's not the case with Viseo. You get profit sharing when you hit gold rank, right? As long as you're a founder. So if you're not a founder, go get that founder's pack. They expire at the end of the month. We keep preaching this to you guys. You guys are totally going to regret it if you don't have one. Once you hit their rank called Diamond, it's a higher rank in the comp plan, you are able to earn a total of 3% profit sharing, global profit sharing of the company. With Viseo, you get a total of 4 if you're a founder. So if you're a founder, you get the first 2% at gold, and then with being a Ruby, once you hit Ruby, you get an additional 2% for a total of 4. So that's pretty competitive, right? And our leadership bonus, the 2%, it pays out every week, not every month, where this profit sharing only pays out once a month. So, because again, it's E-level. So, your argument for this is, when you're talking about how to make money, you can say, we offer 2% as well, but you don't have to build this massive business right away to take advantage of a company that's projected to be $1 billion. One of the last times that Dallin Larson launched a company, he brought it to $1 billion in 5 years. So would you say that, if he's done it twice, he can do it a third time? And if you're a founder and you hit gold, well, then you're already getting 2% profit sharing, as opposed to this other company where you really have to build a much more significant business to take advantage of that. So they're going to agree with you that that's better. And you're literally just using facts, right? You're breaking down their own compensation plan right in front of them. Now, here's another thing. I think, and I'm just going to pause right here for a second. There are fabulous products in the direct sales channel, whether it's in essential oils or skincare. I've used them in weight loss, whether it's weight loss or fitness, or, I think that there's a lot of great products in these channels. The difference, though, when you're looking for a business builder, you start focusing on the compensation plan and the model, and you start breaking that down. Okay, a lot of times, because we're all consumers, we have a tendency to lead with that consumer mindset and be like, well, I love the product, the product's great. Product could be fantastic, right? The company I came from, product was amazing, right? They have a less than 1% return rate. But I felt like compensation plan wasn't serving me that great. Their business model is a little different. And, I found something better in Viseo, which is actually the next company I'm going to talk about. So, a lot of you know where I came from. If you don't know, it's an anti-aging skincare line. You can Google it. Or I think they're rated like number 2 right now in premium anti-aging skincare. Fantastic products. One of the things, this is what brought me to Viseo. Okay? So, if you know somebody in this company, one of the first things that you can tell them is, I know a level 5 that left your brand for Viseo, and that's really, really powerful in their world. So I'm actually going to dive a little bit deeper on this company as far as some comparisons for you guys, and I have this in a Google Doc, so don't worry, I'll be able to post it. And you guys don't have to worry about writing down tons and tons of notes. First, on the compensation plan, couple of comparisons for you. They are a Unilevel. They cap out at, I believe, 6 generations of pay for team commissions. So it's actually less than the Essential Oils Company. Essential Oils Company is 7 generations. This one is 6. Most people don't reach 6. They reach 5. So anyway, moving on. They have a 10% commission on commissionable volume or customer volume on their products on retail, and we have 20% commissionable volume. So that's an advantage. We pay double. They have 5 ways of getting paid. We have 10, again, if you're a founder. And after this month, it'll drop down to 8. 8 still beats 5. They do not have profit sharing. They do not have check match because they are a Unilevel. And we have up to 4% global profit sharing, again, as long as you're a founder, plus check match, which is really, really lucrative because there's no limit on it. It's unlimited. And again, they are a Unilevel in comparison to our binary. So going back to diving a little bit deeper in the comparisons on how Viseo is a much stronger and attractive model. I'm just going to go through these real quick. They charge a $24.95 monthly website fee for 2 websites. We don't have a website fee, and we have 1 website. Their website, one is for product, one is for business. I learned very quickly that it got very confusing for people to do 2 websites. They didn't understand why they had to have both. What's nice about us is that we have one. It's very clean. It's very easy. We have an app to run our business on with a CRM on it, and that syncs up to your contacts. I don't know if you guys have downloaded the Viseo app lately, or if you've you should have downloaded it the moment that you started. But if you've done any updates with it, you should really go back and check that out. Like you guys saw me a long time ago do a Google Sheet of names. I don't even need a Google Sheet anymore. I can do everything directly from my phone. And if I feel like somebody is a cold market, I can swipe left. It's exactly like a dating app. It's so fun, like swipe left, swipe right. Like I could have so much fun with that all day long. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Their app isn't as functional, let's put it that way. And so we just have a more streamlined process. And I would say if you're sitting in front of somebody, bust out your app. Show them, like, look how I can run my business from my phone. Like I can swipe left, I can swipe right, I can sync all my contacts. I know when somebody opens up a PDF, I know when somebody watches the video, I know when to follow up with them. Like I have everything that I need right here in my phone. I don't even need a laptop if I don't want it, right? You're showing them our proven system. That's one of our 5 pillars that we talk about. So that's a huge selling point. When it comes to, now I'm going to dive a little bit deeper here. So I'm going to have you guys, like, you might want to take some notes. When it comes to minimums, in our business, we tell you that in Visayo, you have to have a minimum of 80 personal volume to be commissionable, which you can either purchase on your own or you can build with customers, right? I feel like there's almost no direct sale. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows. I don't know if there's a direct sales plan out there that you can just build off of customers with like one bucket to be filled. This skincare company has 2 buckets, so I'm going to demonstrate how this looks, because if I try to just tell you over a camera, I'm going to lose you. Okay, so. Debbie, I can't wait to see you in Vegas either. I just saw your comment. You're so sweet. Okay. So in the skincare company, there's 2 buckets. There's one called an SV, and there's one called a PSQV. The $24.95 that I'm sorry if this is backwards, you guys. The $24.95 that I talked about, that is worth 20 volume points. This stands for sales volume. This stands for personally sponsored qualified volume. That $24.95 is worth 20 points, which hits the SV right here. You still have to have another 80 in sales, whether you purchase that or yourself, or you make a retail sale. Now the retail sale, nobody ever really buys retail sales because there's a cheaper way less expensive way to get the product. And that is when you sign up for like a preferred customer account. And then what you have to do in order to keep a, for us, you would be a qualified brand partner, and you have 2 qualified brand partners, one on the left, one on the right. With 80 PV, you're considered qualified, right? Well, with these guys, it's 600 in volume. 600 in volume is a lot. One of their products, I think it has a volume of 112, just one product for your eyelashes. Or actually, no, it's 107. Never mind, 107. So you need to sell 6 products to hit this 600 every single month to be the equivalent of what would be like a qualified brand partner in Visayo every single month. Where us, I mean, you're looking at 1 customer, 2 customers at $49.95 a product, where their products, they definitely do have a higher price point. And the consumer mindset, you guys, when you go shopping and you see a product that's, $50 a month, and you're like, I can afford $50 a month, versus a product that costs $150 that lasts 2 to 3 months. A lot of people don't want to pay that much money up front. They would rather pay the $50. And so believe it or not, that's actually a competitive edge. You can say we have lower price points on our products, even though they last only 30 days. People would rather pay in smaller increments. That's just how we're conditioned as consumers. We don't always buy in bulk. Unless you're a big Costco fan, then that's a little different. But anyway, so hopefully that made sense. I'm going to keep going though. They do have minimum orders amounts for their customers, $80 or more. We don't have minimums. A customer can purchase a pack of samples if they want. They don't have to have a minimum. We don't have an enrollment fee They have an enrollment fee, $19.95 per customer. It's a one-time fee, but I encountered a lot of people that had a problem with that. So an advantage is we don't have enrollment fees. And this is information, you guys, that you can just put out there with customers, like, we don't have a minimum order, we don't have enrollment fees. That just boosts your offer more on the product, is because you're showing all these features and benefits of how great it is to be a customer of Viseo. The skincare anti-aging industry is a $4 billion industry. We are in a $1 trillion industry with health and wellness, so it's a bigger demographic. It does cater, anti-aging skincare does cater more to women, right? Maybe in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up to their 60s. And it was really hard to recruit men. And I like working with men. Men are very non-emotional in business. They're great partners. I wanted to work more with men. I did recruit a couple, but I wanted to work with more, and that just was not happening because the demographic that they appeal to is women. And that's okay. It's a great business model. But there's a lot of great business builders that are men, and I want them on my team. They are on my team. So anyway, moving on. One of the selling points for them is the doctors already created a $1 billion brand, and they took it global. We have the argument that our founder has already created 2 separate $1 billion brands in the MLM channel and holds the record for bringing in one to $1 billion in 5 years before having a global expansion. So we win, right? We have a business school that, we have leaders that are pouring into you every single night. We teach you business acumen and industry and philosophy and how to have a competitive edge, how to have posture, confidence, how to approach people, how to invite. We teach you all those things. They do have some great training, but you don't have the personal touch of, 6 and 7 figure income earners the way that we do. That's just a personal opinion. When I was in that company with my particular upline, I felt like they were almost untouchable. And that's not the case with everybody. That was just the case with me. So I wouldn't use that as a selling point. That was just my case. The global expansion plan. For me, it wasn't fast enough. There were 2 things that I wanted in a company. I wanted to go fast, and I wanted great mentorship. And I wasn't going fast enough. I wasn't in a binary. I wasn't getting paid 10 different ways, right? Now I'm going fast. And they are in almost in 3 countries in 9 years. And I think one of the reasons why they might be a little bit slower is it's more of a pharmaceutical grade product, right? And so there's more red tape to go through because not all the ingredients are allowed in all the countries. And the reason why we can go fast is because our product is natural. It's dairy free, it's GMO free, it's 4 out of 5 are vegan, the other one's vegetarian, it's sugar free, it's food. So basically it's food. And so there's not as much red tape to go through when you're dealing with a food-based product that's nutrition. I talked about the demographic already. For our demographic, it's basically anybody that's 4 years and up. Anybody can take this stuff. Once the Founders Pack is gone, we have our largest package is actually a lower price point than theirs. Ours is $8.99. Theirs is $9.95. So that's another thing. I think that actually kind of covers all of the differences. At the end of the day, one of the big selling points that you can review with people that are in an existing brand is, what would your life look like if you were at the pioneering stage of XYZ company, and whatever company it is that they're with. And they're going to tell you, oh my gosh, I would be a millionaire. I would be making so much money. It's not even funny. You can say, yeah, exactly. That's what this is. We're at the pioneering stage. We're less than 90 days in. We've already done over, what we think is 5 million in sales based off of some numbers that we've crunched. So you can have that conversation with them. I covered all that in less than 40 minutes. That was actually pretty fast. I don't know if you guys have any questions, but I want to open it up. There's 32 people on here. So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask and fire away. Support. Thank you, Howard. I have more men interested in Viseo right now than women. Sarah, that's actually a really good thing. I like that. That's great. You know, as women, we have to be able to turn off our emotions about business. In business, we think we do not feel. And sometimes that's hard for us to do because God created us as very emotional creatures. So you have to learn to harness that. So I like working with men. There's definitely some go-getters on my team, and I really appreciate them. I love working with the women too because they make me feel like I'm not crazy sometimes. Which product is not vegan? I believe it's the Core Essentials. It'll actually say how, oh, that wasn't Howard, that was Jill. It will say on the website whether it's vegetarian or vegan. I discovered that. Bob, what company was that? Bob, I'll message you the company. I just don't want to say it in case, for whatever reason, I could get in trouble for anything. I feel like I won't, but you know. It's the #2 anti-aging premium skincare brand. Just Google it. Starts with an R. Michelle, you said that we do not have an enrollment fee. What do you call our 49? No, Maureen, I'm talking about the customer enrollment fee. So to be a customer at this, with this company, there's an enrollment fee of $19.95 to be a customer. We do not charge an enrollment fee for our customers. That $49 is for a brand partner, not a customer. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, any other questions? Scroll through some of your guys' comments. Multitasking at the grocery store. I love it, Sarah. That's great. Kelly, so politically correct, Kimberly. I'm almost never politically correct. I mean, I can be when I have to be, but I'm usually not. Okay, I don't think. Pistachio. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I hope that this information was useful. I would encourage you to study up on, you know, when you come across somebody that's in another company, study up on their compensation plan and dive into it. Just because they may get paid a certain amount of ways doesn't always mean it's competitive. It could just look really, really pretty on paper to say, well, we get paid 11 ways. Like, that beats sale. Well, let's just see, like, what does that look like? Are we talking percentages? Are we talking big cash bonuses? Like, show me the money. You'll notice another thing on compensation plans, they'll do a lot of percentages on ours. I like how they show dollar amounts. Like on the rank advancement, it shows a dollar amount. On the team commissions, you know how many cycles you can get to, which is up to $1,100 a week, and that's $27,500 a week. So a lot of comp plans would go into percentages, so that's when you have to dive a little deeper and really have an understanding of, okay, well, what's the point system, and what would be the price point, and how many points do I need to get to X, Y, Z? And that's how you know whether, like, once you start to figure out that math, that's when you'll be able to determine if it's a good comp plan. So, okay, you guys are so welcome. I hope you have a great Thursday. When are you going to put up the video for approaching somebody? Clifton, I don't know if you joined late. I actually went over how to approach somebody at the beginning of the training, so you can take a look at that. It's, you know, when it comes to approaching somebody in general, if it's cold market, you can, I mean, if you're at a grocery store, just, hey, do you ever look for, you know, extra ways to make money? I might have something for you. I mean, keep it short and sweet and just get their phone number and then tell them that you're going to call them that night. So anyway, I'll let you guys go. Have a great Thursday, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.